Well, hello. It's been a long time since I've obviously posted anything publicly on the YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook, so on and so forth. There's a lot that has obviously has been going on lately, the last few months. First of all, I want to apologize to anyone that's been trying to get a hold of us. We're massively short-staffed. We've had quite a few people quit, so there's no one answering phones. So just want to get that out of the way right now. If you call, no one's really going to answer the phone because there's no one answering our phone line right now. Email support@eikonmotorsports.com. I do check that. We do have someone that's actually checking our email, as well as I do check the email here occasionally as well. We have someone that's full-time that is actually checking the email. So email us, support@eikonmotorsports.com, and you'll get a response within 24 hours, guaranteed. But back to the information that I wanted to give to you guys and what I wanted to say as far as what has been going on. Why no communication, why no updates, why no posts, why no videos. And I feel as obviously this channel is growing. I think we're upwards of almost 10,000 subscribers right now, which is great. So I thank you guys so much for that. We are getting so close to our goal of what we wanted to do as far as the subscriber count goes, so we can start doing the giveaways and so on and so forth. And what are we going to give away? I mean, that's always obviously the question. Well, we are Eikon Motorsports. There's been rumors, there's been things I've seen online. Have they gone out of business? Are they closed? Did they go bankrupt? The answer is no, no, and no. We have not closed, we did not go bankrupt, and we are not out of business. I'm not gonna get you notoriety by mentioning your names to the people who are just running their mouths, spreading the lies and rumors, because there's just no point, because it's not true. So that's why I have not really actually addressed that. However, I want to show you guys something. I think one of the last videos that I posted, I've mentioned something, our own kit. So for those of you who don't know, we started manufacturing our own vertical door kit for the C8 Corvette. Now we've had some setbacks that I didn't foresee, setbacks that are relatively out of my control, especially in the beginning stages. So I want to show you this. So you're probably like, what the hell is that, Tim? This is a piece of aluminum, obviously, very high grade aluminum, and you can see the edges there. I think the cuts, the precision there of that. And this is an unfinished part, so it's not actually like sanded, finished, or anything like that. Raw aluminum. This is part of our kit, and yes, I'm going to show you the rest of the kit, but I just wanted to show you a little piece of it just so you can see, you know, something. I don't know. But we're going to get to the other parts later. I wanted to address the delays that we've been kind of struck with and the cause of them. Now, I understand that there's no justification for the lack of communication, and I apologize for that. I can't apologize enough from that, or I can't apologize enough for that to you guys, especially to our customers who've been waiting a long time. There's a lot that's been going on, but none of that is an excuse, none of that is a justification, or none of that makes it right and okay for what's been going on. And the presumption or the assumption that I've been letting you guys kind of think and feel simply because of the lack of communication. We obviously had an email thing that we were doing. If you subscribe to our newsletter, it's easier for us to make one email, send it out to everyone, versus going through all of our customers and sending individual emails. Not saying that you don't deserve an individual email, but when you're talking about, you know, 300-400 plus customers that are waiting for an email or waiting for an update, it's just hard. And it was really hard when we got hit really bad with staffing issues, and I, you know, was out of the loop. What a lot of you don't understand, and what a lot of you might not know, is that when I was an installer, I was literally just installing. I wasn't really doing much else in the office. I was trying to here and there, but that was pretty much Jessica's job. That was her show, in a sense. And again, truth be told, you know, her and I were butting heads a lot, and it was mostly me. And I think that stems from a big trust issue. I think it stems from not so much a control issue or a power issue. It was more so, I think, the feeling that this is my life, this is my baby. This is my everything. I started this a long time ago, and took a brief moment of pause in between with a previous, situation that happened with a previous relationship, and it was hard then getting back into this. It was hard at that time, is what I'm talking about. During the breakup situation a long time ago. Her name was Nicole. Some of you from the EC Performance days may know who she is, may remember the name at least. She wasn't really involved in the company at all. She was just involved in my life personally. Obviously I wasn't YouTubing then. I wasn't really doing much of that stuff, briefly back then, but nothing major. Nonetheless, there's been some issues, that caused issues between her and I, the communication issues. Now, there's no denying that I can be stubborn. There's no exaggeration to that term, and there's no denying the fact that I can be hard-headed, and I can prevent myself from listening to someone else that doesn't necessarily have any evil in mind, but I'm just not used to the help on that front. So she was great, having Jess was one of the biggest regrets of my life, as far as to not holding on to, and not what's the best way to say it? It's hard to say what I'm trying to say, because I don't know the words to use to describe what it is that I'm trying to say. Basically, she was undeniably irreplaceable. She was the most amazing person in that position to run the front office of the company, and I took that for granted. And I took that for granted because I was stubborn, hard-headed, it was too argumentative. I would be out doing installs and be gone, and I'd be focusing on that end of the business, and then I'd come back to, well, why was this changed? Why was this, and why is that this way? And my problem then was that it was hard for me and difficult for me to accept a change that wasn't ever told to me, that was never ever discussed with me. And it was a relinquishing of the reins, to those types of things, and giving the person that ability to make those changes that needed to happen. And I think that's where the complication came in, between her and I's relationship at work. Was I was stuck in my ways. She was truly just trying to make this company better and to build the foundation and the structure for it to grow, because we were growing rapidly. And I say it in past tenses, we were growing rapidly, not because we're going out of business, but because we have definitely hit a plateau currently. And that plateau is simply because of the delays for the kits. And this is what I'm, about to explain. So, real quick with the whole Jessica situation, she is coming back. She's been gone for quite a few months. She is coming back finally, thankfully. I am blessed to have her in my life, not only as a coworker, but as a partner in my life as well. That's something that I've never really publicly shared, but yes, Jessica is my wife. She is my everything. She is my heart, and she is my soul. And we've been together for going on almost 10 years now, 9-10 years now, and it has been amazing. We have a 2-year-old daughter who you've seen in previous videos, who is my life. And Audrey means the world to me. She is the reason for my retirement, 7-8 months ago. She is the reason why I can't be gone for more than, I don't know, a day, 2 days max. Yes, we FaceTime the first 2 years of her life, a year and a half of her life. It was Daddy was on FaceTime more than Daddy was in person. So it was emotional, to say the least, stressful also, to say the least, and it did take a toll on our relationship, for sure, undeniably. But she's back, she's coming back, and I couldn't be happier. I couldn't be happier. But anyways, let's get to the main part of this whole, or the main purpose of this whole video. It's to give you an update to more than just this little tiny piece here of our kit. So I'm gonna pull it up, I'm gonna set it up here on the table. We're gonna go over a few things. I want to go over the overall design in the real world with what I've got hidden back here behind this section. I'm going to load this up over here on the table, let you guys see it, talk to you about it, and then we're going to go to the design, the actual software that I used when I designed this kit, and explain a few things, also explain the delays, the hiccups, why is it not out yet, and then I want to address that actual kit situation as to the delays as to why. So let's go ahead and pull these out and go from there. Alexa, turn kitchen cool white.
Okay.
So now that we can see, I'll show you what this is. So this is obviously the part that bolts to the frame of the car. So it'll sit on there. Let's see if you can see this way. A bolt. Here's like the main part of the kit itself. So that's part one. Now there's this part. And this is an arm that goes right here. So this sits right in this area right here, and this is what in a sense will open and go up. So door opens, goes up. So that part's right there. This part is obviously the part for the door. So this piece will go kind of like this, bolt into the door. And that part's right there like that. So this will go this way, kind of sitting right here. Now, I put this together, but like I said, this is unfinished. This is the only piece that doesn't snap. You see this square? This is supposed to fit in there. So minor imperfections there, but that's getting worked out literally as we speak. So let's set this up this way for the time being, and I'll lay it flat so you can see. Now let's go to this part. So that piece that I showed you before, right? What this is there's a slight angle in the actual door itself. So like the car's, you know, obviously facing this direction. Here's the door. Door's open like this. You know, that door's not sitting at a 90-degree angle on the door, on the frame of the car itself. So there is a slight angle, and finding that actual angle, it took a little bit of work, time, obviously right there. What this is this piece right here takes this, puts in there, and you can see that sits flush right there on that piece. Now if I flip it and hold that in place, you're going to see a slight angle on there. You see that little angle? And you're looking right here, okay? This flat U-shaped surface right here, that's where you're gonna look at that and see that ever so slight angle. I don't remember off the top of my head what it is, so I don't want to say it and I'm gonna be wrong, but I know it's there. So put that there. Now, here's what was very important to me when I designed this kit is obviously working with vertical doors for a very long time. I know how long approximately it takes them to sit there and make a kit. So they have their parts that are cut, they get their parts, they assemble these kits, they put them in a jig system. Great, awesome. Their kits have been great. They have phenomenal kits. However, there are inconsistencies. Not every single kit is the exact same as the other one, and I'm not saying that ours is going to be the exact same. I will say this though. This kit, our kit, is way less likely to have the inconsistencies between each kit as vertical doors as kits, simply because of the jig system that's what they use to put this together and to assemble this. And for those of you who are engineer kind of mindset or background, you'll know what I'm talking about because I'm going to show you. So the jig system is basically a flat surface and all these individual parts, you know, get set on there and then, you know, tacked and welded together. This system was designed to speed that process up tenfold. So instead of taking 4 hours or 3 hours to get the parts, weld the parts, put them on a jig, weld them one by one, boom, boom, boom. Instead of taking hours to do that per kit, for each one kit, this kit was designed with speed in the assembly as #1 focus. So this kit, when we assemble this kit, shouldn't take more than about 21 minutes from start to finish to actually assemble. And that's including the welding, which is bare minimum, not that much at all. And a lot of this is bolted. And as I'm assembling this right here in front of you, you're gonna see exactly what I'm talking about, how quick this actually is. So here's another piece right here. And what this is just gives us the space, the extension for that movement, that swing movement there. This, as you can see here, it's machined out, it's cut, it's beveled. There's ever so slight 3 bevels on there for the bolts. Now this goes right here on this top section right here. And you take these 3 screws and you put this in here. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Now as you see, this thing is coming together, right? So that piece is on, right there. Beautifully flush, flat, beautiful. Now, let's put this back. So we're gonna take this one and this tab, right? Now you're gonna see, they may look the same to you, okay? They may look the same. They may relatively be the same, but I'm gonna put these together here. So the head themselves are the same, but look at the actual tab that's sticking out. So this section right here is obviously a lot smaller than the other side behind it. So you'll go to this corresponding piece right here. So we'll take this small one, obviously. So let's see, put this together. This long curve right here is facing back. Obviously, that's very loose. So that's not fitting there. But if you slide that in there, that's no longer loose, that's in there. So that one's there. Again, long curve, boom here, put it down, now boom. Now that's there, okay? So this piece and this piece just slides in the slot. This piece is screwed on, done deal right there. Now, let's move to the next piece. So what this is, okay, so this is an arm that goes right in here. And now this thing is starting to take shape as to what you're kind of used to and what you've seen on the market. Okay, so this sits just like this. The shock will sit in here and go, obviously, when this piece is up here, it'll get bolted to the top there. So it'll come out and go up. Come out, go back in. Now let's get to the bread and the actual butter here. Okay, so these are spacers. Now these spacers, one on each. I'm gonna find the right orientation of them, but for this video, it's not a necessity. What these do is, as you can see, there's holes here and there. So common sense tells you, you know, what that's gonna be is the space that we need. So we'll put these, like, these will go up underneath here, right here, and let's just flip these around. Right here and right here. Now what I want to show you, I'm going to pull one of these off just to kind of give you an idea of what it is I'm talking about here, so you can see. So these will get tacked. Line it up. Now this isn't the right one, like I said, so don't judge it, but I just want to show you here what this is all about. You'll see inside this hole, if I can hold this steady, so you'll see in there how there's recessed down in there, right? So the head of the bolt will go down and stop on the inside. So all of the bolt is gonna go, the whole bolt is gonna go through this piece right here and sit on this piece on the back side. You're asking me why? Well, you're not asking me, but I'm assuming you're gonna ask me and you're gonna wanna know why. So I'm going to tell you why. So the plan here, and what's going to happen is, as this kit, I'm just going to remove these because they're not fixed, so it's falling. So when we bolt these onto the car, okay, when we bolt this to the car, bolt, 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 obviously. So what we're going to do then at that point is you're going to notice, know which one. Okay. So these caps right here, again, aluminum, right here, boom, done. Machine screwed on, right here, 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 and here. That's not going anywhere. These are also the same as these screws, so the flush mount. It's going to be flush mounted right here, screwed on once we're there to do the installation. Literally going to cover the top. Let's see if we can hold this. So we got, there's the bottom. And there's the top one. So I'm not sure if you get a good picture of what that's going to look like here with this covers on. Obviously the text is not going to be there, but I'll lay it down. So as you can see there, this is completely flush. No ugly bolts visible when the door's up in the air and the car is sitting at a show or whatnot. You're walking around, or customers are walking around, or people are walking around at the show looking at these ugly, hideous silver bolts on a black kit. It just doesn't make much sense to me. It never really has. This can be so much better, so much prettier, so much more aesthetically pleasing, and that's what we did. We made it much more aesthetically pleasing. When you spend thousands of dollars for something on top of a six-figure car, now granted the MSRP on them is not six figures, but we all know that most people are spending that much more money. Hold on, 1 second. Hello? Oh, absolutely. Yep, it's gonna be done before that. Yep, not a problem. Bye-bye. Okay, sorry about that. So basically the aesthetics of this kit should have been better and could be better. And we made them better. So I wanna focus on a couple of different things right here. Like, this is the main bearing housing. And what this part is basically when it's connected to the kit, this opens. So this is what, when your door opens, this is how it opens right here, and then the door goes up. And inside here is this. As you can see, very heavy duty bearing. This bearing has a 21,600 PSI rating. There's two of them. As you can see, there's two bearings in there. You're never gonna have that much pressure on this part. So, I mean, this is just a light years ahead of what is currently on the market. Right now, there's nothing with a bearing on the market. Right now, it's a hole cut out with basically a pipe and another hole drilled and a grease zerk put in there. So grease it up, and that's your movement. That's what keeps it lubricated. It's just flawed. It's just not a good system. So this one, you never have to worry about that. As you can see, this is moving, bearing staying still. This is super smooth, completely sealed, watertight. You're not gonna get any dust, any debris, no water, nothing's gonna get in these marine grade bearings. And you're never gonna have the squeaking like you will with vertical doors kits or any other kit on the market right now that doesn't have a bearing, which is every kit on the market. So you're gonna have the squeaking, you're gonna have that creaking noise and all that kind of stuff. So you're just, with our kit, you don't have to worry about that. With our kit, you get a bearing. Let me set this up down here. So I wanted to finish this video today because it's been so long since I've actually posted anything. It was important to me to get something so I can get it edited and uploaded to explain what's going on in the current holdup of the situation with the kit. So here's the kit, as you can see, right? So here's the arm that will go right here as it opens, and then it goes up. Now, so here's the holdup right now. As you can see, put this back together here. Okay, this will be assembled obviously before it gets bolted on. Anyways, this piece right here goes right in here. Okay, so this goes right here, opens, and then that door piece goes up. The issue and the delay here is that in the arm, all right, so in this arm section, the precision location of the 1 inch by 2 inch, like basically steel, not steel, aluminum rod that goes up here that gets pressed, that will get pressed into this bearing during assembly, that's missing. Okay, so there's no way to attach this right now. Let me get this lined up this way. So this is where it would attach. It'd be pressed in it'd be pressed in right there. So as this moves and goes up, that's what basically is the bearing for that section right there. So what's missing is obviously that 1-inch pipe that goes in here. I say pipe, but it's a 2-inch cylinder basically that goes right here. There's no location. So the machine shop that cut out this first prototype for us is local, because we're still waiting for a lathe, and we're waiting for the electrician to come to set up dual phase power for our machine, or for our CNC machine, and for our water jet table. So we're getting 3-phase or 2-phase or whatever power, I can't remember what it is. And then right above this hole right here is another vertical adjustment section that we've basically taken from what Vertical Doors' flawed system is. It's basically a bolt that goes and screws through, and it's coned on the end. So when that door comes down, and if you're not like gentle with it every single time, over time, it falls out of alignment. Well, we built a system, and this is why we made this piece so heavy duty, is this is a 1-inch by 1-inch square solid flat piece. 1-inch by 1-inch square piece that right here, and our vertical adjustment goes right here. And it's also a 1-inch by 1-inch square flat headed piece. So when this is bolted onto here, as it will be, like right here like this, okay, we have a section that's getting put right here, and it goes and it basically puts that 1-inch square right up against that 1-inch square, so it's flat. So it's a flat on flat surface. So when this comes down, once we install it, it's essentially, it is you'll never have to worry about an adjustment. You'll never have to worry about the doors falling on alignment once that shock breaks in. So now when it comes to the shock, we did decide to go with a company called Bonsbach. They're the company that manufactures the shock for Vertical Doors. However, the exact shock that the Vertical Door kit uses is a protected part from Vertical Doors, rightfully so. However, we did have a couple conversations with Bonsbach down in Florida. We are, in a sense, they're working with us to give us and to machine us a very similar but non-protected version of that shock. But we are going to perfect it as far as the actual pressure. So the complaints that we've been getting, the complaints that people have about the doors are too heavy, right? Or I can't lift it up, or my wife can't lift the door up. Get it, totally understand it, completely understand that issue. Before, there was nothing we could really do about that because we didn't manufacture the kits, so we had no real significant control over any of that part. Now we do. So obviously our V1s, that's the V1 kit, we're very close. We should have that piece, that the arm that goes up is getting recut with the precision location for the cylinder, as well as our vertical adjustment section right there. Those are getting remachined. Our shocks are being done right now as we speak down in Florida by Bonsbach. We should have those within about 7 days from now. Once we get the recut for that arm, and then once we get the shocks, we can assemble this kit and merge it together, make sure everything bolts up the perfect way that we want it to bolt up to the car, make sure that the ease of installation is there for obviously us for the installation side of it, because we are the installers, so we want to make sure that it is installable to the expectation and the degree that we've been used to with Vertical Doors. Again, I just want to reiterate, Vertical Doors is a good kit. We wouldn't have installed it, we wouldn't have sold it for as long as we did. The separation between Vertical Doors and Eikon was nothing more than a decision that we had to make, that I had to make, because our account was literally shut down from Vertical Doors, or by Vertical Doors. The reason for that was over a Facebook post. Now, I've not said anything publicly about this situation at all. I've not mentioned it on social media. I've not mentioned it in a video. Obviously, I'm talking about it now. Sorry, there's some jets going by. So, there was a long story short, there was a guy who posted a picture of a C8. This was like a year and a half ago or so. This guy who posted a picture of a C8, doors up in the air, all these ugly wires hanging down. And all I did was post, I said, what's with the ugly wires? And he's like, well, those are for like the power windows and stuff like that. I said, no, I get what they're for, but why are they just left so hideously visible? That's all I said. And his response was, well, that's how it is because there has to be power to the windows and so the doors function the right way. And I left it alone. Shortly after that, I got a phone call from Vertical Doors saying if we ever, and it was Nick from Vertical Doors, and I was literally sitting down on a plane. I answered the phone. I said, hello. And he said, this isn't going to be a conversation. I'm just letting you know right now that if I ever find out, and if we ever find out that you're talking shit about us again, we're no longer selling you products and you're done, and so on and so forth. After I did a okay, and then hung up the phone, I landed in Phoenix, as luckily I was done. So I landed back home here in Phoenix. Then I get a text message from Autumn, and then it escalates. Literally all I said, which I still have the text messages, the whole conversation that I can put in the social media stuff if it ever needs to at some point in time. I wasn't being aggressive, I wasn't being combative, I wasn't being argumentative. I was legitimately saying, look, if these two companies, Eikon and Vertical Doors, got along better, we could be doing so much more. We could be doing so much more in sales, in installations, in so many different things. Her literal response to that was, you're right, we don't need each other, effective immedately. Our contract with you and your contract with us is done. We'll get the kits that you have on order finished and get it out to you, but you, as of right now, as of immediately, as effective as today, you can no longer order kits from us. And I'm like, for what? For me saying a simple Facebook post of what's these wires? Here's the thing. The thing is it was never mentioned that Vertical Doors did the installation. They are the ones who ultimately did that installation. Ironically, they're also the manufacturer. So if someone else is saying that that installation could look better, your response is to shut us down and to be that childish with us, instead of saying, hey, Tim, you know Manny, the guy who does our installs here in Vertical Doors? Can you tell him what it is that you're doing and how we can avoid these wires? That was it. That's all that would have had to have been done. But they didn't do that. They shut us down. So, because of that, and because I do not like being talked to like that at all, especially by Nick, or anyone for that matter, I decided that Eikon is too large to let childish, complex, bearing people have that much control ultimately over this company. So we looked into different things. I got a patent attorney out of DC. Vertical Doors patents is getting ready to expire anyways, this year actually, all of them. So we're not really concerned there. We have filed our 5 different patents for this design, the upgraded bearing, using an actual physical bearing. Our angles and stuff are slightly different as well. There is no, it's a myth basically that you have to change a certain percentage of something to make it yours and that you have to whatever. That's a myth. The reality of it when it comes to patent law and protected parts is that you have to be able to prove to a judge that without a doubt, without the average person with the average household tools can make the changes to something, meaning that you have to have an excessive amount of specialty tools, expensive stuff, designing different things such as that. Whether it looks or functions the same way, it's fine. That's the patent law on that. I'm not really concerned with that. That can be taken into court if Vertical Doors really wants to go that route. I highly doubt that they do, but I welcome that. Nonetheless, I am very, very excited, and I cannot wait for these kits to get out and come to you, because there is no one on the planet that wants these things done more than me. No one. Not Vertical Doors, not you, the customer, not you, the YouTube fan or YouTube subscriber. It's me. I want these things done as soon as possible, because this is 20-something years in the making of finally having my own product, my own kit, my own design, my own everything. Does it look like Vertical Doors? Is what I had a phone call from Louis from Vertical Doors a while back. Does it look like it? Yeah. Does a Fiji bottle of water look like a Voss bottle of water? Depends on how you want to look at it. One's square, one's round. One's completely redesigned with a massive bearing, massive functionality different, especially with the vertical adjustment section, as well as a push-pull shock setup. Plus, this is built on our V2 platform, which is set up for our automatic kits that will be coming out in about a year, year and a half anyways. So you can argue all you want that this is a direct copy, direct duplicate of vertical doors. It's not. The only thing that's relatively the same is obviously the bolt pattern, because I can't change the bolt pattern on a C8. That's all. I can't do that. What matters is I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward to getting these kits done and getting these out to you. The sun sets really quick here, so but I wanted to at least finish this video, start editing it. Hopefully I can get this posted tonight, just to kind of give you an explanation of what's going on with the kit. So we are still on that hold up. We are literally a few weeks away from these kits getting mass produced and getting out, assembled and out. Obviously they have to get painted first. They get powder, technically it's not paint. A portion of the kit's getting powder coated, and then the other portion, like the main bearing and the shock housing itself, that is actually anodized. So that'll be the anodized yellow, the Eikon yellow. And then the main part of the bearing, or the main part of the kit, is gonna be black, because that's where it's bolted onto. The frame of your car is black. Doesn't matter what color your car is, that place where this is bolting to is black. So look forward to another updated video. I'm back in the sense of I'm feeling better mentally. I guess to kind of retouch on that. So, just so you're all aware, hold on, let me clip this up to something real quick so I can freely talk. Okay. Some of you who follow me on social media know from a post that, as I was speaking about Jessica earlier, her and I had some issues in our marriage and in our relationship, and there was a brief period of time, without getting into the details because I want to respect her privacy too and her requests, but obviously being in front of a camera and having people who are genuinely interested in what it is that we're doing and what's going on, I can't completely ignore it and dismiss it. It is important. So we were going through a rough time and we separated, and I'll leave it at that. That's been my state of mind for the last almost 3 months, about 3 months or so. As most of you know how I am with my daughter, I was unable to see my daughter for those 3 months, which was very difficult. I can talk about it now for the first time without tearing up and crying, simply because I've got my family back in my life, and I'm the most grateful man alive for that. And it's been, I can't even describe the feeling of that. I can tell you what I felt for the last 3 months. I felt unsure if I could make it another day. I felt unsure if I wanted to really try to make it another day. Because the whole saying of, you know, it'll get better, it'll this and that, I mean, I get that, you're right. I understand the concept and where that place is that you know, people say it's gonna get better. But I'm still the person living through the moment, in the moment. And I can't help, and other people like that are going through like that depressive type thing, can't really help but think, you know, that way, because that's our now. That was my now. Now I'm glad to say that was my then, but it was rough, it was dark, and I'm glad that I'm coming back around mentally. I was going through a lot of stuff. I was in a facility down in Miami when this all happened, and it just got really dark, and I needed the help. I needed the intervention between me and some medication that I was given, that I'm taking because of my back situation. I abused my medication. I don't condone it. I will never ever do that again, but I was definitely masking the pain, the mental anguish, and the suffering with my pain medication, which was Oxy. And it was pretty high strength Oxy. I've been on, as some of you guys know, like I've had back issues, because actually I rolled this thing, this Can-Am, I rolled this like literally like a week after I bought it. That exacerbated an already old injury to my back. Well, I've had back problems here and there, but they were more sporadically, or there was more length between like an inflammation or severe pain. I rolled this thing, and it was like I was in constant pain. And then just the traveling and the working and the up and down, it's been a rough, long time doing this, and my body's kind of done, you know, with a lot of those aspects, at least on the everyday, different city, different state type of thing. I'm still gonna be in the videos, I'm still gonna make videos, still gonna make content. I'm gonna be switching it up to including like everyday office stuff, so like phone calls. Once I can get back to doing that, once we can get those things going again, I want to be able to do that. So when you call in, you could be in the next video or the conversation. Obviously, I'm going to respect people's privacy. I don't know if I'm going to tell anyone that this may or may not be recorded. Obviously, if we decide to use whatever footage from it, and if you're like visually seeing it, then obviously, yes, we're going to get your permission. But a phone call, you know, we're not going to put your name and number online, obviously, but we are going to show both sides, not just the traveling, not just the installation side, but the office side, what goes into what fully goes into Eikon Motorsports, the dealing with everything. We will cut into some of the other installers, so we're still going to have the installation aspects to the things, where you'll see Jaden, you'll see Sean, you'll see those people. Sean will be coming back, pretty sure, convinced that Sean's coming back. I haven't talked to him for a while, but Sean, if you see this, shoot me a text message. Let's reconnect here a little bit on that part of it for sure. Jets again. I love living here because I'm so close to Luke Air Force Base, and you hear freedom all day long. I mean, that's basically what it is. It's the sound of freedom. But yeah, so anyways, I just want to offer you guys my sincerest apologies, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I was suffering from depression, severe anxiety of everything, the company, losing my family, and everything that comes along with that, and then the medication. I'm better. I have a lot more improvement to do. I have a lot more of getting better to get better, and to do that. My wife has moved into our new home now, and I am thrilled, you know, to say the least. I've made mistakes. I think we all do. I think we all have, and I just I'm gonna do better for me. I'm gonna do better for them. I'm gonna do better for you guys. Eikon deserves something better than what it's been getting from me. But more importantly, my family deserves a better me, a more attentive me, a more dedicated me to them, to my children. And you guys deserve clarity. You guys deserve communication. You guys deserve explanation. You guys spent a lot of money with us, and not hearing from me or not hearing from anyone else is like, I get it. The feeling of, shit, did I just lose my money? Did they steal it from me? Is this, and that? And it's like, I know the thoughts are there, and I know the feelings are there. And I want to say from the bottom of my heart, I am truly sorry for the lack of communication on my end for that. I just have been very not healthy, and very sick mentally. But like I said, I hope you forgive me. That's all I can really ask for. I promise you that your kit, as you saw, is this close from getting finished, guys. It is this close. Our V1s are this close. We're hung up on literally the dumbest thing right now. We just need to get that piece recut for both sides. Get that piece that I was talking about is a McMaster car part. So for you engineers out there, or you guys who do any kind of design, you know what McMaster car is. It is an actual part that's already made, so it's not like we had to redesign thing. It's done. It's just a matter of the arm has to have that precision location so we can put it exactly where it needs to go based on the actual design of it. So let's go ahead and get into the actual design so I can explain to you what it is specifically that we're waiting for, like I just showed you on the kit that's in my hand. But I want to show you in the digital realm of what I'm talking about. so you guys have a better, clearer picture of it, so you can see the whole functioning kit in the 3D design, which we use Fusion 360, and let's go from there. Okay, so as you can see here, this is the kit in the Fusion 360 software. So this is the fully 3D design. You can move it, different angles, different shapes, different everything right here. So what I wanted to show you is specifically the part that I'm talking about. So this is the main bearing housing right here. It's highlighting when I'm dragging the mouse over it. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove that. So it kind of can show you here. Let me turn it to the side. So you see this cylinder right here? This is the piece that I'm talking about. This on the back side has a precision section where this is supposed to go, which is basically gonna be kind of like that hole right there, but just cut out on that back side. So that's basically in a nutshell how they will do that and get that hole to be able to be precisionally placed right there. And then we screw that piece on. Same thing with this right here. This section right here is our vertical adjustment section, and this is what's going to allow us to push in or pull out to adjust the vertical alignment section of the door itself, and that's going against that 1 inch by 1 inch square on the main bearing housing that I showed you before. So that in a nutshell is pretty much our kit. And the piece that we're waiting for is just right there. So there you guys have it. That's the kit. Like I said before, I'm very sorry. I can't wait till these things get done and get out. No, I'm not being arrested right now. This is actually the Can-Am. As you can see, that's the theme. It's a barricade theme. So anyways, please like, subscribe. I'm sorry. I'll be posting videos regularly now. Again, finally, thank God. And until next time, please like and subscribe. Let's get back and edit this video. So until next time.